Hey guys, it's Amon from Our Rich Journey, and something very interesting just happened. Christine and I are in Brooklyn today. We were walking down the street, and someone came up to us and said that they have been following our channel for the financial independence, not necessarily the retire early. And so, what we've been doing is that since we've been in New York, when people come up to us, we ask them for a quick interview on tape. And so, what you guys are about to watch now is a tape of that interview. We asked this person just to tell us a little bit about their story and how someone can thrive in New York City financially, because this is an expensive place to be. And I think there are some amazing takeaways from this interview, because you'll see that your 9 to 5 is not going to get you, it's not going to get you there, and you will not thrive in a city like New York alone on that. And so he talks a bit about that. We also ask him about, could he see himself retiring here in New York City? And his answer surprised us. So without further ado, here's that interview. Here in Brooklyn, yes. And we just ran into Jerron, right?
Yes, correct.
And Jerron mentioned, you actually spotted us first. He said that you follow our channel.
Yes.
And you're not into the channel for the RE, but you're more for the FI, the financial independence. And so one of the questions we've had, we've been in New York about 3 days, and it's probably one of the most expensive cities we've ever been in.
Yes.
And we are so curious, how do people thrive in a city like this financially? Are there any tips that you could give to people?
Some people who either moved here from another state or they're young, it's definitely going to be tougher. I feel like I was insulated. My wife and I started our profession young. Went through our struggle years, and now New York gets more and more affordable because of the decisions that we made early. We had our first property at age 25. Used that to leverage. We leveraged that to get more properties. So when we do pay rent, somebody's paying our mortgage for 3 other properties. But we had to do all of these little tricks and things in the beginning, sacrifices in the beginning to be able to afford New York. I feel bad for. Oh, sorry.
So it's like you have to invest in order to really thrive here, because you have a 9 to 5, but you said that you also started investing in real estate.
Yes.
You can't rely solely on your 9 to 5. It sounds like it.
It depends on what you do. I'm a phys ed teacher. I'm not gonna make it by myself. My wife's salary is comparable to mine. We'll be fine if we didn't invest, but we would be rent poor if that was the case.
Right on.
So we'd be able to afford it, but we wouldn't be comfortable if we didn't invest early. And as time goes by, it seems like New York is more and more out of reach for younger people and young professionals, unless you're making a very high salary.
Okay.
Yes.
So we have been to a couple of restaurants here, and we went to a Mexican restaurant the other night, and the chips and guacamole on the menu were $20 for chips and guac. And for us, we love to eat food, and I'm just amazed at how expensive food is here. What have you seen as far as the food prices in New York? Have they gone up significantly over the past couple years?
Yes, you've seen prices go up, but it also depends on where you eat. If you're eating somewhere in Manhattan, of course, they're going to cost you an arm and a leg. If you go somewhere, I work in East Flatbush, so if you go somewhere local over there, Flatbush or Crown Heights or something like that, it won't be as much. So it depends where, but even then you do see prices do come up. But I'm pretty sure that those businesses have their overhead increasing, so they got to keep up. So I have seen stuff, especially just grocery shopping and stuff like that. Have seen it jump, especially as of late. But some places are just outlandish, and you can find something affordable in New York. That's the thing about New York, you have options.
Okay. So what has been, for us, the chips and guacamole have probably been the most outrageous thing that we've seen.
Yes.
What are some of the most outrageous prices that you've seen take place in New York? You just can't even wrap your head around it. Like, how are they charging that much?
I usually know beforehand. I'm not too surprised. If anything, I'm like, oh, it wasn't this much. So I think I'm just desensitized to how much things can cost. And I'm also know that, like, this supermarket right here, if I'm going to get a juice for my son, it's going to cost me maybe $7 there. If I shop around where I work, it's going to be probably half the price. So like I said, depends where you go, what neighborhood you at, and actually where you're shopping. You could find more affordable options, but some of the stuff really is up there. But I'm just so used to it. You've seen it gradually. It's like you can't get you can't get sticker shock when you're from New York and been living in New York. Yeah, I think we're just immune to sticker shock.
So I got one last question for you. So our channel is all about early retirement, financial independence.
Yes.
Can you see yourself retiring here in New York?
Absolutely, I would have to. My salary will go far if I decide to ever leave New York. I doubt I will, but the salaries don't really transfer. A lot of people, they work out here, they sell their property out here, and they live big in another place, like Atlanta. They'll do something like that. But yeah, I definitely will retire in New York. I'm comfortable here. That's all I know. So yeah, I definitely will retire in New York. And if I'm gonna maximize, my retirement, maximize my pension, I would have to retire in New York.
Right on,
yes.
right on. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, man. Thank you for following our channel. I appreciate it. Yeah.